When I will grow up, I will be army and save Pakistan and destroy India.
Strong army, whoa, great!
Raiden, I will join you in Pakistan.
I'm sorry. This is not a sentence I expected to hear.
I love Pakistan. I will sacrifice my life for Pakistan. I love Pakistan.
Baffled by the statement, police are still investigating a motive. President Hamilton is on his way to the Middle East this morning for his scheduled visit with Pakistani President Farooq Salam. The meeting is viewed as an attempt by the U.S. to strengthen relations amidst a surge of anti-American sentiment in the region.
Miles away.
4,500. So whatever it is, it's not happening on American soil.
If it's gonna spike demand for PMCs, it's gotta be a political hotspot. A coup or civil war in a stable region wouldn't have a domino effect.
And they'd want to draw in a superpower. No.
What?
The president. He's on his way to Pakistan. If something happens to him there...
Oh, shit. The War on Terror Part 2.
Contact the military.
Official channels are frozen since Mexico. Unofficial channels will take too long. Besides, what's our proof? Who's gonna believe us over World Marshal?
Then we have to get there first.
You're not ending our plan. You're expanding it. Check the internet lately.
Raiden, Air Force One is turning back to the States.
What? How'd they know?
Someone posted photos of what's happening on the base. The whole world is up in arms.
Show me. How did they? The story leaked early. Then Marshall's plan is ruined.
The hell it is. Look what they're saying. The story just went live, and already they're calling for blood.
But the president was saved.
And yet American blood was spilled.
By Americans. Besides, a few dozen soldiers is tragic, but nothing to start a major war over.
That's just the spark, son. The excuse we've been waiting for. America's wanted this war for years. The Patriots, they knew war was good for the economy. 4 years later, their legacy lingers on.
The memes.
They left us their great isms. Nationalism, unilateralism, materialism. Welcome maxims for those with no faith, without guiding principles of their own. Give yourself up to the whole. No need to better yourself. You're American. You're number one. Then the only value left is dollar value. The economy. So we'll do whatever it takes to keep it humming along. Even war. Especially war.
Bullshit!
The Patriots planted the seed. We don't need them around to filter and foster their memes any longer. We're spreading them just fine ourselves. Every American man, woman, and child. We're all sons of the Patriots now! We just need something to jumpstart the economy out of this funk. This recession it's been stuck in since the fall of SOP.
And the military costs? Wasting billions is going to help the economy?
PMCs, arms manufacturers, job creators, Jack. All those workers spending money, paying taxes. Trust me, a little war can work wonders.
So grease the gears with some innocent blood, is that it?
Oh, relax, Jack. It's a war on terror. We're not out to kill civilians. Extremists, lawless gangs, madmen.
Typical politician. Big promises, but all talk.
No way! You kidding, right? Wow, that's a surprise.
What?
Jumpstart the economy. What a load of bull! All you care about is lining your own pockets.
No way!
That and your approval ratings.
Kidding, right?
You've got no principles. Just like all the rest.
Wow, that's a surprise.
If America's gone to shit, you're just another maggot crawling in the pile.
All right. The truth, then. You're right about one thing. I do need capital and votes. I have a dream
What?
where every man is free to think, to act for himself. But the media! America is diseased, rotten to the core. There's no saving it. We need to pull it out by the roots. Wipe the slate clean. Burn it down! And from the ashes, a new America will be born! Evolved, but unchanged! The weak will be purged, and the strongest will thrive, free to live as they see fit. They'll make America great again!
What the hell are you talking about?
You still don't get it. I'm using war as a business to get elected! So I can end war as a business. Not for money, not for oil!
I was not designed to fear termination.
Huh?
However, Directive 01 is to ensure all data acquired is preserved and passed along. To expire here would violate that directive.
That's a good boy.
However, Raiden came to my aid. I have learned from him. When Samuel fell, data analysis was inconclusive. But that has changed. I have established new parameters now, created my own directives.
You little. War will continue as an institution, as an industry. Men will fight for reasons they don't understand. Causes they don't believe in.
I think the purpose is to make this incident seem bigger and more elaborate than it really is. With this, it appears like more than a simple Pakistani border group supporting Desperado. It suggests that ISI is involved, or maybe terrorists from an OPEC nation. It will lead to war. A world war. One with two very distinct sides for a change.
Christ, and that asshole Armstrong calls it a war on terror.
If the Western nations begin chasing down terrorists, they will respond in kind, just as before. And before long, Western civilians will once again become targets. Can you stop it, Raiden?
Raiden, our enemy has multiple options for striking the president in Pakistan. At the base after landing, while in transit within the country, during the meeting. But if Sundowner's right, they're gonna strike within 3 hours after you killed him.
Which means they're either gonna attack Air Force One, or they'll wait until he lands.
I kinda doubt there are any Pakistanis on board Air Force One, though. It's not like in the movies. They never let foreign press on the flight. They could try to shoot it down from afar, I guess. But anything the Pakistan Air Force could deploy would show up on U.S. radar instantly.
Which means their best bet at kickstarting another war on terror would be post-landing.
They're probably set up for the assassination over at the base. You better get moving.
So the president's visit to Pakistan, it's meant to build government ties, right? And how do his people feel about that?
It's pretty much 50-50. A lot of people hate the U.S., for sure. But a lot of others have been directly affected by the anti-government suicide bombings, too. There's definitely some deep-seated support for helping the U.S., but only if it means ending the violence once and for all.
Sounds like we could see civil war here any moment. What about their intelligence bureau, the ISI? How do they feel about all this?
They haven't commented, publicly.
People are always saying how much bad blood there is between the ISI and the civilian government.
Oh yeah, there are stories all the time about their involvement with insurgents or terror groups. Depending on how the ISI acts, things over there could change pretty damn quickly.
No wonder Armstrong chose this place.
His image with the Pakistani people. You know, pledging financial support and all that.
There's a lot of strong sentiment against the war economy, especially now that the Patriot censorship is dead and gone. Besides, the recession's got a lot of people looking to cut the military's budget.
True, but nobody wants to be soft on terror. I mean, one incident's all it takes to make the pendulum swing the other way.
One incident? Just like what Armstrong's got in mind. Fabricating an assassination attempt was all they really needed to do.
Yeah, I should have guessed considering the political climate in the U.S. Ever since the Occupy movement, Wall Street's been manipulating the media. You know, scapegoating foreign interests in order to divert the public's attention.
Which played a part in the Patriot memes, just like he was saying.
Probably. If being an American's the only thing you've got to be proud of, it's easy to just start blaming non-Americans for all the problems you have to deal with.
And it's not just a U.S. thing either. You've seen how anti-immigration all the first world nations are these days. The whole "they took our jobs" bit. It's an easy story to swallow.
The Patriots spreading their memes worldwide. That's how Armstrong had probably put it. And, just like he said, materialism runs rampant among the financial elite. They see exploiting the poor as a sign of their success. They entered businesses that accomplish nothing for anyone besides themselves. I mean, it's a fact that manufacturing jobs have been drained from first world countries, immigration or not. That's not the immigrants' fault. It's the fault of the bankers and the financiers. The folks who pressed for globalization so they could pad their quarterly figures.
Yeah, pretty obvious if you take a sec to think about it.
Well, that's harder than you think, you know. Getting an objective picture of what's really going on? Hell of a lot easier to passively accept other people's opinions and standards. Still, the memes that get spread around can be good and bad in equal measures. It's our job to pick the good ones and spread those around a little more.
Sure is. But before that...
Yeah. Think you can stop him?
No matter what. The Pakistani government's on friendly terms with the U.S. right now. But a lot of people aren't so happy with them about that. There are tons of anti-government groups in this country. Any one of them could have an interest in killing the president. Pakistan's got a lot more than just a bunch of random anti-government forces, though. Like the ISI, the Intelligence Bureau. Anyone who watches the news knows how shaky their ties are with the civilian government.
You think they'll have the ISI be—
Well, I'm sure the ISI would deny it. But it's not like simply issuing a denial would stop anything. Remember Iraq?
Yeah, I've heard all the rumors about the ISI's involvement with terror groups.
If Hamilton dies, the U.S. can join the Pakistani government, declare war against the ISI. And there's one big difference between Iraq and Pakistan. Pakistan does have WMDs. Nukes.
But that was just a couple of tests 20 or so years ago. They can't reach the U.S. with...
I'm not talking about firing an ICBM at the U.S. or unleashing a Metal Gear. All they have to do is remind us that the tech could fall into terrorist hands.
Oh, yeah. That'd be enough to scare the entire country, I guess.
Yep. Scare them enough that the U.S. would have to do something.
And then the war economy would come humming right back to life. No Patriots required.
Christ. All right, I better move. You hear that speech? Hell of a politician.
Yeah, it's scary.
He's calling this an anti-terror war, saying he's not going to harm any civilians.
Despite the fact that tons have been killed already in so-called wars on terror. Besides, the terror here is all fake.
Yeah.
I know it's not exactly unheard of for groups in Pakistan to terrorize the government, but, I mean, this is so ridiculous. Going on this noble quest to shoot down terrorists and restore faith in America?
What he said, though, it works.
What do you mean?
You saw the footage. Hamilton's fine, and still everyone's calling for blood. The people have spoken. They want war. And Armstrong's doing it all for the money. And for his polling numbers. Bastard'll do whatever it takes to get the public on his side. I kill him, and I don't know. Then what? What's it gonna change? If the world's gonna do its own thing, either way, what's the...
Raiden, get a hold of yourself. Just because people want war, that makes it okay to start one purely for profit? For some twisted sense of pride?
No.
And let's not forget, he's trying to kill you. Look, just... How about I save your data while you get your head together?
So? Pakistani food.
Yeah. All right. So Pakistan's had cultural links with India for centuries, right? They're neighbors, after all. And as a result, the two countries share a lot of culinary traditions. You've got your curries, your naan, samosas, pakoras. For the most part, that's all the same. The locals might be able to spot the difference. But a lot of American restaurants put India and Pakistan pretty much in the same bowl, so to speak.
What are samosas?
Spiced potatoes and other yummy stuff, fried in a flour shell. Sometimes they're spiced with curry. That's the kind I like best.
But I thought India and Pakistan didn't really get along. They had at least 3 armed clashes in the 20th century alone.
They did. I mean, that's why they have nukes in the subcontinent now. It's a shame. You see how similar their taste in food is. It just seems like they should get along better.
Yeah, well, not too rare for neighboring countries to have problems. If nothing else, they have to compete for the same common resources.
Yeah, but isn't that why we have politicians? To peacefully manage that kind of stuff?
You know how few politicians out there actually give a crap about serving their country? Anyway, sorry. This isn't exactly the light conversation I was expecting. Better worry about the president for now. We can go and grab samosas another time.
The Commercial Crew and Cargo Program offices passenger transport.
So soon we'll have private spacecraft bringing crew to the International Space Station. Wild times we're living in.
Well, the space race has been over for decades now. It's no longer something countries engage in for vanity's sake. Still, lots of people are starting to see the industrial value of zero-gravity experiments. Plus, the costs are getting lower and lower with each passing year, to the point where we'll have a serious space tourism industry before long.
Yeah, I heard about the space hotel the Russians opened up. But we're still not going any further than orbit, right?
Well, one company's planning to have a lunar landing craft complete by 2020. Not ours, though. I'm just hoping we can get to Jupiter while Hal's still alive.
Jupiter, huh? Wow, that's pretty far.
Oh, hey! How did Earth look from up there?
I can't even put it into words. I know I was still under the Kármán line, but it looked exactly like every satellite photo of Earth I've ever seen. No borders, no nothing. Just a whole lot of blue. Hopefully next time around I can take my time and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what happened with the RLV after it dropped me off?
Running on autopilot. She'll circumnavigate the Earth and head back.
Wow. A trip around the world, huh?
That's the sort of distance you need to reach orbital velocity. She had to lower her altitude pretty drastically to drop the landing craft. So getting back up for her was a pretty rough trip.
Rough? How?
In terms of damage to the craft, I mean.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no. All in the name of peace, right? Besides, it made for a good load experiment. I'm kind of surprised it actually worked, actually.
What?
Oh, I'm just teasing. Raiden, I heard Armstrong's using the name Operation Tecumseh for the assassination attempt. It makes sense.
What do you mean?
Tecumseh was a Native American tribal leader, a symbol of resistance against the new settlers.
Guess you know your U.S. history better than me.
This is basic stuff, Raiden. As legend has it, Tecumseh put a curse on the U.S. presidency. Every 20 years, whoever is elected president was doomed to die before he served out his term. And it played out that way, too. From 1840 to 1960, that's exactly what happened.
Ah, a fitting code name then.
Yep. It hasn't worked since 1980, though.
Ran its course, huh? Didn't last as long as the Bald Harry rule in Russia, at least. Besides, Hamilton wasn't elected in the right year for it to take effect, right? Wouldn't Armstrong be the one elected in 2020 if this works?
Well, I'm sure the name is meant to be a bit tongue-in-cheek, not like how the U.S. Army names their ops.
Still, pretty bad karma.